All units this net. Be advised, a catastrophic earthquake event in Iran is affecting all operational capability in the Iran-Iraq region.
Battlefield 3. Everybody who hates Battlefield 4's favorite game. The game that created countless of careers and countless of memories. Listen, it was lightning in a bottle. It's hard to explain what this game did to people at the time without dedicating a whole video about it. But for those who experience it, it pretty much sums up to be...
And I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
But with the amount of players who can't stop fucking talking about the game, I wanted to see if it's still playable in 2024. More likely than not, if you're thinking of buying this game in the year 2024, you are very likely going to be planning to buy this on a PC, because why the fuck would you buy it on other platforms? Battlefield 3's PC release is a definitive version of the game. Besides the obvious better graphics and 60Hz servers, Battlefield 3 also gives you access to the full 64-player experience. The true 32v32 chaos that for some dumb fucking reason no other studio can't replicate. So how is it in 2024? It's still very much populated. A majority still left playing is primarily set in Europe, with German and Russian servers completely dominating the server list, and there's usually 1 or 2 US servers active at any given time. But I do have to warn you guys that a lot of these servers for some reason spoof their numbers half the time. Why? I don't know why, but it's fucking annoying seeing that there's a server that's 90% filled, joining it and seeing that it's only 10% filled. Like, come on guys, how am I getting fucking catfished in the game? But once you find the server you're looking for, how's the people still playing? While it's a completely different experience on the German servers, the US servers are just a meat grinder of a time. The game is still filled with players who just never quit playing the game, still in their emergency bunkers thinking that Battlefield 4 is still right around the corner. Playing the game today is a very one-sided experience. You're either steamrolling or being steamrolled. When the ball goes rolling for one side, it's pretty much game over, as it just turns into a cycle of spawning and dying.
Spawn die! 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 Spawn die!
But if the cards get flipped for the enemy team, now your team is the one that has possession of all the flags. There's just no middle ground here. If you didn't play the game in the past, you're in for a rude awakening playing this game for the first time. All the good guns are locked behind the progression, which, you know, normally wouldn't be a problem for any other game. Just simply play the game to unlock all that shit. But it's a problem here where everyone killing you has already unlocked everything and is killing you with said good guns. It's just one of those games that you had to experience back in its prime, when everyone was almost at equal footing, as those left are either buying the game for the first time or have been playing since 2011. For the majority of playtime, it just doesn't feel fun. Some engagements just feel unfair, as times you don't even get the chance to pull the trigger to respond to 4 people with the AN-94 shooting you down. But when you're going up with someone who isn't a 2011 sweat, the game becomes a lot more enjoyable, as gunfights actually feel a lot better with no bullshit present, as they feel a lot more fair with no bullshit present. But once again, this is a case-by-case thing, as I know that a lot more people are faster to learn the gunplay in the game than most. But then again, anyone can watch an old level cap video to help them mastering gunplay.
I saw it.
He wasn't about to attack!
He made a move!
He didn't make anything! He was standing there still!
Well, now, this is actually a good opportunity to point out a few tips. The reason why you missed the enemy is because you didn't compensate for the weapon's recoil.
Here we go.
Mind you, this only really applies to the few American servers that are still active, as when I play on German servers, and even the few Russian servers still up, I don't get the same feeling of sweat that I do feel in the American servers. It feels like people are enjoying themselves in the game, and not playing it as if the competitive Battlefield scene was still around. When it comes to the maps, these American servers do have all the DLCs listed in rotation, but since the servers rely on a map voting system, more times than not, the server is more likely to pick the same 4 to 5 maps that, while at first are great, they're fun to play on, but playing playing them multiple times in the same session, it gets really, and I do mean really fucking tiring to just play it. So for 2024, the game is still doing good for itself, but if I were to be honest, I don't think it'll last, as despite the countless of people who praise the game and wish they just remastered Battlefield 3, no one is actually really going back to play the game for longer than a week. So the already small pool list of servers will continue to dwindle down come 2025, but that's just my pessimistic viewpoint on the matter. All of this was for the flagship version of the game, the definitive version of the game, the PC version. So how's it holding up on the platforms a majority of the fanbase actually played it on? Listen, while I own both versions of the games last gen, I am way too lazy to dust and plug in my PS3, so the following only really applies to the 360 version of the game. But I can say that last October I found about 3 servers still up for PS3 that had a queue to get in, so I hope it's still the same, but anyways. On the 360 side of things, you are consistently going to find anything from 3 to 6 servers populated with players at any given time, all running base game maps that are really fun to play on. There's usually 2 servers that are running Conquest,
We have neutralized the objective.
1 or 2 running Rush,
Good work, man. We can head back to base with the objective taken.
and 1 or 2 running TDM, with a dedicated 24/7 North Shell Canals TDM server running at all times of the week. The traffic for these servers are seemingly mainly US based because old 7th gen style of matchmaking is still region locked. So I don't know about Europe based servers, but if it's anything like PC, I know my fellow German friends are vibing on their PS3s, especially the Russians. But traffic for these servers seem to hit peak times at around 4 PM to 8 PM Pacific Standard Time. Mind you, these times are indicative of times seen on weekdays, with the weekends being presumably a lot better. I'm gonna be honest here. On average, I actually had a better time playing on consoles than I did on PC. For some weird reason, those left playing on console versions of the game are not sweaty at all. How the fuck? I do not know. I never felt cheated. I never got that feeling of, hey, how the hell did he kill me so fast? That's bullshit. All the engagements I had felt fair, and felt as if I was playing it back in its prime. I don't know how else to explain, but I was just happier for a longer period of time playing this on 360 than I did playing this on PC, and I just find that fucking funny. For the map selection, you are basically at the server's mercy, whatever is up in its rotation. What's that? You don't want to play Grand Bazaar right now? Too fucking bad. What are you gonna do about it? Not fucking play Battlefield 3? If you're trying to find a match that's running any of the DLCs, will be played on their device. For other devices like Lenovo's Legion Go and the Aya Neo, it works perfectly because these run off of Windows, while the Steam Deck itself is Linux based. If you guys don't know the difference between these two, the best way I can describe it while dumbing it down is Android and iOS. And not all games support Linux. So it's really a gamble getting this fucking thing because you don't know for a fact the game you want to play will be supported. And for the case of Battlefield 3, it's complicated. Battlefield 3 on PC doesn't work like it does on console. Everything has to be launched via a web browser. While the veterans of the franchise say this is great, my 2023 ass says this is a fucking horrible. There is a workaround to get it working. A long process that I know for a fact will deter people away from the easy press play and everything works method. Getting it to work allows you access to the whole game. You can play the campaign and the anti-cheat called Punk Buster. As a matter of fact, all the entries up until 2042 use Punk Buster anti-cheat, all tuned differently for each title. And in Battlefield 3 on Steam Deck, you get a good 5 minutes of gameplay in each server until the anti-cheat kicks you out for not being on a Windows-based system. I'm not even joking. So yes, there's Battlefield 3 in 2024. It's a game filled with people refusing to let go of the past, persistently dominating on these servers, leaving no survivor in their wake. When tryhards leave for their lunch break, what's left behind is an amazing game filled with amazing maps, guns, and people who all love the franchise. The gunfights feel great as gunplay actually matters. Vehicle play can feel one-sided at times, but when you're in those dogfights up in the sky or duking it out in tank-to-tank battles, it still provides that feeling that no other franchise can match, no matter how hard they try. Maps that feel war-torn with amazing map flow that still can't be beaten, and classics that a majority of the community won't shut the fuck up about. The absolute feeling of just war. That Battlefield formula is still present here, and that's a feeling that just can't be replicated. And that's just the multiplayer side. You still can buddy up with a friend no matter what to play the co-op mode, as it's one of the last times the game mode has actually had some thought put into it. And on top of that, you still have another campaign to go through, depicting a more real and down-to-earth narrative than those live-action blockbuster narratives that was seen in other franchises at the time.
I said get down on the ground!
This is not a trial, you are guilty. I know how your fucking story ends!
I still have fun playing this game every now and then. Whilst it's a hurdle for new players like myself who weren't there when the game released because we were playing the opposition, what's left on the other side of the hurdle is still a reminder for not only myself, but to many other players why Battlefield is still one of the best in the FPS genre. The game goes down to around $5 on Steam throughout the year when it's on sale. You can buy it really cheap offhand physically if you want to get the console editions, and it comes for free if you subscribe to Game Pass, both the console version of the game and the PC version. Hopefully I've helped you make an educated purchase with this video. I can't wait to be the main culprit for buyer's remorse.